Hello, hello. How are you doing this fine Friday evening? Let's get in here and pray. I pray your day has been amazing. Mine has. It has been very comfy, and I like it that way. It's been comfy. I got a lot done though. Mm. Thank you, God, for being Jehovah Nissi, the God of the banner. You place a hedge of protection in front of me, behind me, and on top of me. You keep me safe by any means necessary. Psalms 91. You place me underneath your mighty wing, and nothing shall by any means harm me. No evil will befall me, neither will any plague come nigh my dwelling. 1,000 may fall at my left hand side, 10,000 at my right, but it shall not come near me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. It will form, but I have the breakthrough formula. From Jesus' stove and Arumala, they left it behind it. And guess what God said? I'm calling everybody to the table that want to be there. Okay. And I walk in and instead of fussing about what it looks like, just saying. Because instead of fussing, I could be living. Okay. That's how it is. Jehovah Shalom, the God of peace, the peace that passes all understanding. Philippians 4, I think on these things that are good and of a good report. And if I keep this mind stayed on God, He'll keep me in perfect peace. No, it don't make sense, but guess what? It makes faith. And what I have faith in, I'll believe. And what I believe, I'm going to act on it. What I act on, I'm going to see happen in this realm. I'm going to see it happen in the spirit realm first, because that's the realest realm. This realm is dense and heavy, and it's been changed so many times. So you already know how that is. Jehovah Sabaoth, the God of hosts. You're here, you're there, you're everywhere. You are me, and I am you. God placed a small part of himself in our heart before we even entered our mother's womb. Let's talk about it. God told Jeremiah, it's in chapter 1 or 2, he said, I knew thee before you even entered into your mother's womb. So that lets us know something. God is not a respecter of persons. So if he did it with Jeremiah, he did it with all of us. See, we have a covenant before we come to this earth. Okay. The thing is, once we get down into this earth plane, this is what happens. It gets dense and heavy and ugly. Why? Because of how this earth is made. Okay. This earth has been changed so many different times. No, it is not a prison planet. However, it is a 3D planet, meaning it's the lowest, densest realm. And everything that God works in is 7 and above. Okay. More like 11 and above. Okay, let's talk about it. And so when you have a dream, it is usually 5D and above. So when we down here in this 3D realm, things are hard to get to us. You don't believe me? Ask Daniel. Okay, go read Daniel in the Bible, the 21 days. Okay, he got it on the first day, but Gabriel and Michael had to fight some stuff. Okay. All right, let's talk about it though. God is not an aspect of love. God is love. However, he places an aspect of his love in our heart before we leave him to come to this earth plane. Our goal is to make sure that love expands outside of us. It could be a foot, 3 feet, 10, 20, 60, 90, 100, 1,000 feet. But it depends on how you work it. Ephesians 3:20, God will do exceedingly abundantly above all we can ask or think according to how it works in us. So how we work the love gift is how it works in our life and how people see us. That's how people see you before you even enter the room. They're like, who is that? Giving off that energy before they get in here. Okay. Jehovah Elohim, the God of gods. We make all this stuff to put in between us and God. Religion, priests, preachers, all this stuff, gurus. God said, I don't have no problem with that because I gave you the idea for it. My issue is, why don't you come to the creator before you go to the creation so you don't get bamboozled, hoodwinked, and all of that stuff? So you have a word from me so you get a confirmation from them. And if you don't get the confirmation, you just get up from the table. That's how it works. Jehovah El Shaddai, the Most High God. Your name is higher than any name that could be named on this earth or the universe. If it can be conjugated in a sentence and a punctuation put at the end of that sentence, guess what? God is higher than that. And then guess what? Thank you, Spirit Team. And then guess what? If I think of something and I try to tell you, God is already higher than that too. Let's go there. Okay. God is always going to be higher. Jehovah Jireh, my provider, there is no lack. There's always provision. See, God is more than enough and will supply all my needs. It may not look the way I thought it was going to look. Because, infinite wealth is still prosperity. I'm worthy because I exist, and I exist because I'm worthy. See, infinite wealth comes from the inside of you. There's nothing that God will ever withhold from me. See, if I remove the negativity, I'll see the infinite wealth. You are my source and not the things on the outside of me. You use people on this earth to bless me. See, wealth comes from the north as above, so not so below. Not from the east, west, and the south. It will always be supplied supernaturally if I believe it. See, it's based on my frequency and energy. If God is here and I am here, which is key, God asked me to come over here. That means I'm changing my perspective to come where God is. Every time we get up and come to somebody, we're changing our perspective. Make sure it's worth it. Okay. Jehovah Rapha, my healer. You heal my mind, my soul, my body, my spirit. You heal so much of me. Me and God talk about this all the time. Because when you are aligning with him, a lot of things go on in the body that the medical field can't understand. Okay. Jehovah Gamola, the God of the recompense. Ain't no reason me getting even with people and arguing with people. They know what they did. You know what they did. Why are we even going there? Just send all that negative energy up to the Creator and ask the Creator to cleanse and purify it so you can send it back to the sender, cleanse and purify. No blocking their path, no stopping their path, no matter what they done. Why? Because we got cause and effect, sowing and reaping, and corresponding action, meaning whatever you put in the ground is coming back to you 200 or 300 times more. Good or bad, it doesn't matter. I live under the law of assumption that it's already worked out and I don't have to stress about it. Everything doesn't require my response or my fight. I choose my battles properly. I leave it in God's hands. I'm not going to be fussing and being stressed out by stuff that's outside of me. So it will be and so to be and forevermore. I just chose a while back that I just wasn't gonna let stuff that I couldn't control me. I used to. I ain't gonna lie to you now. I ain't gonna lie to you. But that's when we grow and mature. I'm looking for my book. I'm trying to see where I put it. Because I move it every time. Me and Bella be talking and then I move it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, me and Bella talk all the time. She can't always respond to me in human language, but she responds to me in her dog language, and she whines and she give me a bark to let me know I'm on the right. You warm, you hot, you cold. Look at the description below to see a few items just for you. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. This book is a one-on-one book with me and God. No matter what your background is, this is me and God talking. Get ready for a major breakthrough coming your way. Okay, and I receive it, God. Let me tell you something. And then I have two more books on Amazon. Befriending the Shadow, Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Both of those books I call those shadow activity books because I didn't see anything on it on the market. And I was like, God, but I love to play it. He was like, well, make it. I said, well, say less, and I did. Okay, so you get a word of knowledge, you get an exercise, then you get a shadow question, which I cried over a lot of them questions because they came out of me, okay, during the process. Sometimes it seemed like I cried for like 3 to 4 hours straight. Woo, that was the process. Thank you, Lord, for deliverance. And then that last thing you get is 4 pages. You have 22 chapters per book. You have 4 pages per chapter of sketching, drawing, doodling, whatever. Your dreams, your visions. Because I know I have dreams that are out of this world, visions that are out of this world. And it gives you a chance to put them down and have them all in one place. Okay. Notebooks for all, coloring books for all that help in meditating and recalibrating the mind. You'll see the link to the podcast with the women's leveling up. It was great being there. You also see 3 links now of magazines that I was covered in. You'll even see a spread of me. It's a whole video I put in there as well. You'll see my own personal bookstore. I'm excited about that venture. Why? Because I'm in charge of my own intellectual property, even though all my stuff is still on Amazon. Check it out. Type up Renetta Chelsea. You see all my stuff there. There are some freebies just for you. I added a link to 105 spiritual laws. Although there's 7 in the initiate book and 12 in another. I did some research because God is not an author of confusion. That's not how he works. So I found that it was 105, and I put the link down there for you to get, so you can just grab it and study it at your own leisure. Disclaimer: we are no longer underneath the law. We are underneath a dispensation of grace and love. When Jesus came here, He gave us two. He gave us two paradigm shifts. One was love, one was grace. Okay? So love gives you the opportunity to allow someone to be released out of your life. You can release them with how I say cleansing and purifying energy, or you can say I release them in love. Either way works. I say cleansing and purifying energy because I want to send them light. So when they get ready to do that 180-degree turn, they have something to look at. Because the only thing I owe them is love. I don't owe them anything else. Okay. I saw that in scripture. I said, that's mine. Okay, so I send that to them. And because that's why I send cleansing and purifying energy, because the only thing I owe them is love. And that is a paradigm of love. Okay. Then we have grace. Grace and love allows you to forgive them. So the disciples asked Jesus, how many times are we supposed to forgive our brothers? 7 times? Jesus said, no, 7 times 70 for the same negative thinking. That means every time you thought about that person, you think about that person, you think of, or thought about that person, who you have placed a boundary between you and them. Every time they come up in your thoughts, you get an opportunity to forgive them 490 times. Because the enemy, the system, your old self is going to constantly bring them up. You get an opportunity to forgive yourself because you don't know what you didn't know what you know now, and you can forgive them. Because sometimes people have been in the dark for so long they don't know that they are the light. All of us came from the light. It's just sometimes we get down here in this dense area and we forget that we're the light, and we just walk around in darkness so long. But it's not my job to pull you out. When you ready, you'll stop. That's not my job. Okay, and then we have grace. Grace is God's willingness to get involved with human affairs. See, that's God's job. See, God will get involved with our human affairs if you allow it. I told God, you don't need no approval from me. If you see me down here going through something, come and get me. If I can't holler out like Peter, help, come and get me. He said, oh, don't worry about it. I'm going to come and get you because I don't put too much in you. Okay. And we have the 10 commandments, right? And it's really 613. If you get it tonight, what I showed you the last 2 nights, I'll grab it again. If you get it tonight, it's in the Kamash is just the Old Testament. The Tanakh is the Kamash is just the law of the covenant. That is going to be Genesis through, I think, Psalms and Proverbs, but I have the Tanakh, so it is the whole Old Testament. Okay, because I like to study like that. Okay. And let me tell you something. When you read that and you go back and look at the Bible, they look totally different. Okay? Because that's the Jewish version, how it was originally said, and it's broken down by rabbis. Okay? We know, let me tell you. And God told the Israelites, you cannot keep 613 laws every day for the rest of your life. They say, yes, we can, us and our children. So that's how we got involved in this generational baggage and trauma. It started all the way back in Egypt. Yes, it did, child. It started all the way back there. And then it came all the way up here. Back then, they lived for hundreds and thousands of years. You don't believe me? Go check up Methuselah. He lived almost 1,000 years. So God had to put time in between humans, because if he didn't put no time in between us and living forever, guess what will happen? You will mess up and you will be messed up forever. So he said, I love the people, the humans that I made. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put time in between us so they can have time to get their life together and then be in eternity with me when they leave that earthly body, if they do the work. Okay. Again, we know everything, but we don't know anything. And this keeps us from attachments as we go through each level and lesson taught to me by Jesus, Thoth, and Issue. Okay. Let me tell you, that Issue will teach you something, because he is at the crossroads and he will teach you something. He will teach you something that, especially if there's stuff that you don't know and he sees your innocence, he will teach you. But if you're trying to get over on him, best believe game recognized game. All right. Don't forget about your adjective PDF, as well as and he is a God, I can't think of the name of it right now. Why can't I think of Oh, Risha. There it is. I couldn't think. For some reason, it just left. It was gone. It came back. The Adjective PDF along with your Morals and Values PDF to put it together for your science project. Take a picture. Jeez. Use it to change your whole character in this Sims game. Okay. Don't forget to sign up for your newsletter for the juicy updates and upcoming events. Look at the new link for the school app. I just started getting things together. I was just inducted into the new class of Who's Who and Influential Women of 2025, bringing up the rear. It's a whole new experience. I am so thankful. God is so faithful. I am grateful. I am thankful for everything. I really am, because God just put it right there in my face, right? Look in the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company that I use along with All Natural Remedies for the assistance. In 2017, I was given a diagnosis of breast cancer. They had given me 6 months to live, right? So what I did was I took the 100% Silver Shield. I think I took it for like 2.5, 3.5 months. And then I also ate the stuff out of my backyard, and I ate pretty much a pescatarian diet, which means every once in a while I had salmon, every once in a while I had tuna steaks, the tuna steaks. Um yeah, and sometimes I had shrimp, but mostly it was salmon. Most of the time it was salmon. And mix that with my vegetables, my zucchini, my squash, red onions, red bell peppers, orange and yellow on the top of some jasmine rice with spinach underneath it. And let me tell you, child, let's break it down. So the doctors told me some stuff, and I said, we're not finna do that. So I said, I bind every germ, disease, every lump, every growth, every bacteria that's trying to stay on my body. I bind you down with, and I loose the blood of Jesus. And because remember from last night, God has given us the kingdom to the keys to heaven. He said, whatever we bind down here, and whatever we bind down here is bound in heaven. Whatever we loose down here is loosed in heaven. So when we bind and loose it, it's loose. And God is going to send the angels to make it happen. So they said, what you doing? I said, child, I'm putting my order in. So when I come back with my testimony, you know what I'm talking about. They said, I said, I'm coming back with a testimony. Right. Child, that was 2017. Here we are, 2025. Still. No. Okay, let's go. Every time something get on my body, I say, you ain't supposed to be there. Then I said, it's my fault because I put the food in my mouth. Okay. I didn't pay attention to the labels on the back with all them chemicals. Okay, I wasn't paying attention. Then I took responsibility and changed my life and took a 180-degree turn. Sure did. Psalms 91, 1-6 NLT, those who live in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. This I declare about the Lord. He alone is my refuge, my place of safety. He is my God, and I trust him. I ain't got no shame saying he my God. For he will rescue me from every trap and protect me from every deadly disease, and does. He will cover me with his feathers every day. He will shelter me with his mighty wings. I promise you he does. He is faithful to his promises. Let's talk about God's promises. God's promises are yes and amen every day. The thing is, God, if you like me, you like the law of opulence. Okay, everything is shiny, it's beautiful. And God say, daughter, what you want? And I'm like, God, you know what I want. Yeah, he said, I know you want something shiny. I said, of course. And then he said, so what you want? I said, I want diamonds and pearls. Thank you, Prince. And God said, I'm going to give you the diamonds, I'm going to give you the pearls, I'm going to give you the rubies, I'm going to give you the sapphire, I'm going to give you the emeralds, I'm going to give you everything I put on that ephod. But I need you to do me a favor. And I said, say it. He said, I'm going to need you to walk daily, every day, doing a step, even no matter how small it is, every day. And do as much as you can every day. And then when you say, okay, I've done all I can today, do it again tomorrow. And just keep doing it until you get what you want. Because I need you to become what you asked me for. You are not ready to receive what you asked me for because I need you to have the character to keep it. I said, say less. And every time I say less, I be looking at God like this. Like, what is this? Armor in my protection. I'm not afraid of the terrors of the night, nor the bullets that fly at day. I do not dread a disease that stalks in darkness. Why? Because God already told me, yea, when God said it through David. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me, my rod and staff. Okay, who knew that my cross was my spine and my shoulder to shoulder? Jesus said, pick up your cross and carry it today. The little did we know, it's sitting out by the whole time. Child, I'm sitting up here in church the whole time, grew up as a preacher's kid, child. Didn't even know that nobody broke that down to me. I found it out this year. I'm like, Lord, what we been doing? Okay, then it says, and my cup runneth over. Sorry, I've been laughing all day. Just got to get it in. He said, my cup runneth over. I'm not even sorry. I'm happy for that. That's good. And I remember times when I used to cry all the time. And I'm thankful. I did shed some tears today. But I'm thankful for the laughter, because laughter is medicine for the soul. Oh, yes. Thank you. Come on through here. Okay, and it says prosperity. Okay. And then it says, and goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. And go to Isaiah 53. It says, the angel, God sends the angels to set a son to go before us and make the crooked places straight. Then he also said that the angels are menacing fire to minister unto the sons of man. Country of foot. They minister unto us. Okay. Then he said he placed us a little lower than himself. Don't get me to start preaching. Let me calm down. This ain't the time for it. I just get excited because it's in me, and what's in me is gonna come out me. Okay. Today is a good day. Okay. Okay, thank you, Ice Cube. Today was a good day. Ooh. Come on, I like it. Come on, I'm having a good time. All right. And then it says, and God is my rear guide. So we go back to Psalm 23. Goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. God is my rear guide. God is my rear guide. Being goodness and mercy following me all the days of my life, pulling up my sticks to make sure don't let them pop up behind me, because don't none surprise God. It surprises me, it don't surprise God. God has already made another way. He already made a way of escape. He'll never put me on more on me than I can bear. Don't believe me? Go read 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. It says God will always provide a way of escape. We broke it down in Christianese that God will never put me on more on me than I can bear. Hush your fuss and get on the bus. All right. Nor the disease that strikes at midday. Come on here. God got us. It's just we get the opportunity to see that. Woo, when you believe it, something happens, honey. Hand over heart for affirmation, or you do your affirmation however you like. I am not society's script. I am my own definition. I am not of this system, but a flame from God's source, the divine. I don't stress about what I can't physically fix. If I can't fix it in 15 minutes, it's outside of my wheelhouse. I let go of that attachment and I monitor the use of my energy. Why are we stressing about stuff we can't control? Excuse me, confirmation verb. Let that mess go. It's like that for a reason. Today I had a thought. I didn't know how much energy I was holding in my body until it was time to release it. I don't think none of us do. The days when I bit my tongue but didn't allow the emotions to come out, they sit inside and they can turn into resentment if I don't sit and allow them out. We humans and we have emotions, but for so many years we weren't feeling. And when you go into your feelings like that, you can't quit crying. Let me break it down. When you hold feelings like that for so many years, then all of a sudden you say, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna feel these feelings. Child, I know I cried for 3 to 4 hours straight one day. Just pent up emotions from years of pretending I was okay because it wasn't safe for my inner child to say I'm hurting. Because the people around me, they never dealt with their inner child. So they couldn't show me how to deal with mine. And so because it was unsafe, because everybody was parading around like they was okay, but I was looking at like, ain't nobody okay. We in here like a bunch of zoo animals. We, we out of control in here. This was the case because I didn't see anyone showing emotions, but constantly blowing gaskets on each other and apologize, and then doing it over and over again. Like what you see when you get with family for a holiday and y'all ain't seen each other in a while, and you don't usually get together, and somebody get to drinking that they only ain't got no business being drinking, And all of a sudden, everybody business in the street. Then come back, I'm sorry, then gonna do the same thing again. We didn't know that all of it was generational and started way before us. All of us stay in bondage until someone stands up and says, "This ends with me," and believes it. So boundaries are set, new mindsets are put on, victimhood is pushed out, and now there's accountability. And everyone you love walks away or secretly is doing things that you have no idea. And then God say, "Look, I need you to slow down for a minute. I need you to look at this right here." And then you say, "God, what's that?" He said, "What you think it is?" And then you say, "What?" And you say, And he said, "I'm going to need you to pray." Because, boy, I be ready to bind it up. And loose, he be like, "No, because if you bind it loose, all hell finna break loose through these city streets." And you know it. I say, "Okay. I'm going to need you to pray. Because I'm going to give him a chance to turn this around." I said, "What?" This me, I'm channeling. This me talking to God, y'all. What? What you mean? What you mean they gonna get a chance? He said, "I gave you a chance." I said, touche, pussycat. See if you see it out there, you see it here too. So that's how I talk to God sometimes. I just bust out laughing doing cartoons. I'm like, touche, pussycat. See, what we all don't know is this is the whole story plot that's been done before our ancestors for centuries. This stuff started way. I'm talking about this stuff started like 5th century, 7th, could be 8th century. This stuff goes back. You know how many hundreds of years this stuff has been in the earth? Just think about that for a second. That's why all of this stuff has been able to happen on the earth for some slavery. All this fundunkery that's happened all over these years on this earth. The stuff that happened with Atlantis. Atlantis was real. Don't let them tell you it's not, because it is. The stuff that's happening with the Tartarians is real. You know why it's real? Don't believe me it's real? Go look at the architecture in Pennsylvania, the architecture in Maine. And why is that architecture not anywhere else? Architecture in Transylvania. Look at the architecture and see why that architecture is nowhere else. It's just in those places. Or look at the architecture in Catholic churches. That used to be everywhere because it was meant to set up, it was meant for when they hit the pipes of the piano, that it would release a sound to hit the chemicals in our body. Because we're all plasma. The blood is plasma. It's plasma and water. That's why they have all these plasma centers in the black neighborhoods or in the poor neighborhoods, because they make we're making money off of it, but at the same time, because we're disenfranchised, they said we don't know how to get out, but we do. But the system is set up to keep us that way, and to get out means changing the whole mindset, which you can do. It's just we don't know how to because no one has showed us. Sign up for my program, I show you. Okay, it's free. So guess what? The earth is groaning and waiting for someone to say, "No more. Stop here." The whole spiritual realm takes notices when this happens. All things that are outside of this world are taking notice because it's outside of the norm, becoming an outlier where the norm of pretending to be okay and having it all together is a flex. When you get beside yourself, you about to lose your mind. None of us have it all together. Let's talk about it. Even all of us that are working on ourselves, none of us have it all together. We still go to God and sit down. Or to whom we ever call God, because God has many names. It can be divine, source, whatever you call them, Buddha, Hare Krishna. I don't judge nobody because you need something hiding you to get through this. Okay? Because they have stuff outside. I'm telling you, they are different realms to this realm. once you open up this third eye, you're going to start seeing stuff that don't exist, but it's in a parallel realm. It's in a parallel realm. It's right here beside us. You can see it all day. Okay. Again, none of us have it all together. When we go home, be honest with yourself. The mask comes off immediately. That's why it says your enemies are of your own household. Because you take your mask off when you get home. That's why the household sometimes is crazy and things are the way they are. We say that we what we like, but until there's change, there's no change. So until you say, I'm going down this path and I'm changing, there's no change. There's no change until you change. Is it easy? Mm-mm. I'm just telling you now. Symptoms. Crown and third eye wide open right now is wide open. I mean, it's just like somebody is putting you know, the easy button for Office Depot. It feel like somebody is pressing a button, zzz, 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 and it's like electricity is going all up and down my spine right now. Ears popping, pulsing, ringing, high pitched noises, itching, electricity going all through my body. Um, Last night I did it again. I was getting ready to go to bed, and I was like, "Oh my God, I'm seeing it again." And I started rubbing the air because it's hard to explain it. So I'm gonna explain it how I've written it down. But it feels like something is touching my fingers. It's not there. Okay. I'm rubbing the air with my fingers like this, and I feel it right now. And it feels like I'm rubbing my fingers through spider webs, but there's nothing there. And it's going all the way up my arm, and it's very relaxing. Humming sounds, but no music is being played, like no music. Releasing the past and realizing where I didn't keep my boundaries because I didn't know how to. I thought that's all I could have when God had so much for me. Cause see, like I said, we was growing up with adults that never healed their inner child. So we were just going by what we saw because remember, by age 7, everything that you've learned from 0 to 7 is sealed in until somebody comes and changes something by age 10. By age 10, it's sealed in. Authenticity allows growth and change that only God can help you maintain. Chains and cords of the past disengage and also ever remove. Sitting getting chills for no reason. Woke up with crazy energy and was breathing to ground myself in and out. When I say I woke up with crazy energy, I promise you I woke up with crackhead energy. I was like, where did this energy come from? Child, I was doing everything I could with that energy. I washed clothes. I was doing everything with that energy. I started doing work. I was trying to do everything because I said I don't know when it's gonna be over. So, not really hungry, but eating nuts and berries and eating one meal with lots of water. I don't know what it is. Usually I'm eating, but something's going on that I'm not really hungry and I'm not pressing. I'm not pressing it. Ooh, it's a light headache right here. It's starting right here. And I don't get headaches. And it's coming over here now. It's like it's moving. It started here, it went up here, and then it was like press, 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 and it came back, and it's like going all the way around my head now. Heard while walking Bella this morning. Ain't no stopping us now. We're on the move. No stopping. No stopping. No stopping. You polish your bag now. Don't you let nothing get in your way. Want you to listen, what I have to say, ain't no stopping us now. We're on the groove. Hey! Mm-mm-mm. Okay. Realizing when you're with someone and they don't tell you something, then you want to fix it. And then they tell you something, right? You with somebody. I'm just giving a synopsis. You with somebody. They tell you something that's going on in their life, and you want to fix it. You want to fix it because of the fixer mentality that you've had all your life, and then you stop and say, wait, this is mine, not mine to fix. Excuse me, confirmation. That's a projection coming from them. So they won't get the opportunity to do their own work. Every time you feel that, breathe, call your power back, and say, that's not mine to carry. Send it back, cleansed, and purified. Leaders get the opportunity to fix their own problems, whether local or national. It's not our job to carry that mess. Push back with love and keep going. No problem in thinking of solutions and putting them in your life to change the collective. But fixing things that aren't for you to fix and taking on that pain, that's not your job anymore. They're the leader. Let them come up with the problem, with the solution. Okay. Otherwise, if God give you the solution, start working it out in your world, in your own little position until it's time to be seen. Okay. Child, I having a good time today. I put on some freaknik music. You gotta know I'm from that area. Okay. And from that 90s area. Okay. I grew up in the 70s, but in my 90s I was in my 20s. Okay. And to dance, and I did squats properly, and I had so much fun because I had like some pain in my back, and I said, God, I don't like that. God was like, dance it out. I was like, well, let's go then. I put on some music more. I said, get these squats in. And, and, and. Boy, I had so much fun. I laughed so hard and just was, and went back to worshiping. I sure did. Both can be in the same place as long as there's balance. I know who I am and what I would allow and not. God was like, there was no problem with that. You used it for exercise. It's like you weren't doing anything wrong. I said, I know. I said, it's just the program. He said, throw that programming away. That was somebody that told you something from a pulpit because that was there. That was their problem. If you don't have an addiction with it, that's not your problem. And God was like, that's my problem with people preaching stuff from the pulpit that is their problem. If you got a problem with weed and that's all you bring up, that's your problem. Why are you making it everybody else's problem? If you got a problem with you can't keep your pants up, that's your problem. Remember, what people talk about the most is who they are. Remember. I exercised for 20 plus minutes to allow my body to be free and have some movement. It was fun. I just had a good time today. Some things happened in my early years of becoming me. Those memories came up, and instead of claiming them as mine again, I said, I see you pain. I see you trauma. I see you childhood wounding. And I hugged myself and I told myself, I forgive you. You couldn't protect yourself, but I'm in a position now to protect you. In your voice going forward, I will speak for you. I forgave myself and those who were involved, most of which are gone now. I sent cleansing and purifying energy to wherever they are in the universe. Remember, energy is never destroyed. It is transformed into something else or transmuted into energy that can be used on my path from the pain to strength or freedom. It allows me to operate differently in myself and how I show up in my life going forward. It doesn't mean I won't have flare ups in the future. It just means I'm better equipped to handle them going forward. Um, it jumped on me so hard, and it said, I got you. I said, I got myself. You finna submit under the mighty power of God that resides on the inside of me. And Tony, I felt so free. I said, you got to get up out of here. Many other things happened as well that was occurring. It didn't take all night to talk about. Okay. It took all night. So I'm just telling you a little bit. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work. See, when it comes back, don't claim it because it ain't yours no more because you done released it. So you say, now I see you, and you call it for what it is, but you don't call it yours no more. Everyone gets the opportunity to do their own work and wake up in their own time. It's hard when you love folks, but in their own time, and okay, keep going. They get the opportunity to decide just like you did. I know you care about them, but what are they showing you? Are you seeing with your own two eyes? These eyes, the human eyes, not the spiritual eyes, these eyes. Some want to connect only with you when they feel you growing. Let them go to learn their own lessons. Okay. They will hold you down for moving forward. Because they're going to tell you they ready, and then you take them with you. And then this is what happens when you get to a level that you ain't supposed to be at. Remember on the Christmas story when he said, I want to I want to get that gun and then I want the bullets. He said, and Santa said he going to kick, he going to put you out, and he kicked him back down the slide in his dream. That's what happened. You get in a ram you're not supposed to be in, but you lied to get there. Like those memes that we said you lied on your resume, so you lied to get there. And then when you get up there, it's like, no, you got to go back where you came from. Just let go. It will be okay. God has you and them. Trust that. Save yourself and keep going. You can share your wisdom as you keep going. They don't have to be latched to you. No, that's not fair to you. Let go. James 1:19 through 21 NLT. Don't allow anyone to take your power or your energy. Understand this, my dear brothers and sisters. You must all be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to get angry. Human anger doesn't produce the righteousness God desires. So get rid of all the negative thinking and humbly accept the word that God has placed in your heart. I don't know what God placed in your heart because that's outside my wheelhouse. I know what he did with me. I don't know what he did with you because I wasn't in the room. For it has the power to save your souls. Okay. Verses like the Quran. This was eye-opening when God showed me this. There was so much stuff that God has been showing me, so I just put it in the message because I'm like, wait a minute. Do people know that that's in there? I don't think so. Okay. Like the Quran says in 1753 and 4148, highlight the importance of speaking kindly, avoiding slander, speaking the truth. Okay. Then 254 says the verses emphasizes that it is not for the creation. Okay, now listen to this. This is the same thing God said. It is not for creation to question. You can question God, but let me see how I say this. Not but, however. God wants you to question him because in questioning him, you get better answers. Because for so long, we were told not to question God. But when you question God, God gives you the answer that you're looking for. And it says, for creation, not for creation to question Allah's decisions about which is better. It requires believers to submit or surrender and obey Allah's will, which is the message of faith and surrender to divine will. It sounds similar. It sounds so similar. The thing is, we are constantly told by man to obey, and God says, surrender to my will. And see, the thing is, you get the opportunity to get into the word yourself, not what somebody told you. You get to have your own personal relationship with God, whatever you call God, Buddha, whoever. You get to have your own personal relationship and ask your own questions and have your own journal and write these answers down. So you know going forward what works best for you. Everyone is going to have a different answer. Why? Because we have 192 different ways how we can operate in this world. And then on top of those 192 ways, guess what? We have our own fingerprint. So somebody else can have the same way in 192 ways, but guess what? Their fingerprint is different. So guess what? Nobody is going to operate the same on this earth. So why are we trying to copy each other is beyond me, because it's impossible to copy someone when that is not even your life path. Do we know who we really are? It's time that we get into our studies, whatever we're in, pray, meditate, and find out who we really are. Be so secure when things come to steal your joy. You bounce back quicker each time. That is important. That's how you know the change has happened. Because you can bounce back a little quicker. And it don't take you 6 days. Now it's taking you 6 hours or it's taking you 6 minutes. I'm still saying, there's so many things I'm still saying. You know why? Because it's my birthright, number one, for being born of a womb of a woman. Then it's my blood bought right. Jesus, when he gave us that paradigm shift, I am worthy of love. Woo, Woo, you know why I'm worthy of love? Because the Bible said Jesus loves me. Mhm. I'm worthy of that. I am worthy of a life I love. I am worthy of a life I love because it says the only thing I owe myself and people is love. So why am I not worthy? If God placed himself here, I'm worthy. I'm worthy of a rounded, wealthy life. I am. I have infinite wealth on the inside. Once you cut off that news, once you cut off the negativity, once you cut off the videos showing people fighting all the time, once you cut off the videos of people arguing all the time, once you cut off this TV of showing black people up here acting like they in the ghetto, acting ugly, and they making millions of dollars, but they showing you how they acting, and you thinking that's how they acting. That ain't how they acting. They ain't making all this money out here in these streets. That is not how they acting. No, that is not how we act. No. However, you spending all that time with that negativity and you wondering why you don't see a breakthrough from God. God can't get to you and give you the infinite wealth because the infinite wealth comes out of your belly, but your belly and your creation is full of gunk. I'm not judging nobody. I'm just saying, if you want better, we get the opportunity. You're living this life every day. You get the opportunity to say, no more. I'm worthy of the dream that is in my heart. You know why I'm worthy of that dream that's in my heart? Because God placed it there, and God is right there. That's why Hebrews 13:5, he said, he'll never leave me, never forsake me. He can't. He right there. I release timelines are no longer for me. Let's talk about it. Me and you no longer can walk together because we don't agree. And because we can't agree, we can't walk together. So I'm going to send you to go your way. I'm going to go my way. I'm going to sever the cord that connected us. Because at one time we agreed, but now we don't agree. All right. There's no harm, no foul, no bitterness, no anger, none of that. It just, we don't agree anymore, so it doesn't make sense for me to hang with you anymore, okay? I love you, though. I send nothing but cleansing and purifying energy to you. I release the timelines that require me to shrink. If I can't be all of me and still be in your presence, that means we don't agree anymore. And it's okay. That's fine. Growth brings change, and that means changing atmospheres. I'm not rushing or placing pressure on myself. I'm just open for clear communication and wisdom on my next move in stillness. When you get in stillness, you be amazed of the wisdom that shows up. It's 5 minutes of stillness. I walk forward lighter, clearer, and deeply supported. I am never alone. I have my ancestors, my angels, and God. It's a threefold cord that cannot easily be broken. I'm so secure, even if I'm walking by myself and nobody's with me, I'm never alone. Because I got a team that'll come out the bushes. When they come out the bushes, it's over. Because I can't control them. They in the spirit realm. They untamed energy, honey. The angels always bring me something amazing that causes my heart to light up. It never fails. I get in nature or I look out the window and it's so beautiful. They always give me something. I'm like, thank you. You knew that it was going to make me happy. Thank you. Because they know when they see me stuff, it's going to make me smile or cry. I'm aware enough to pause, breathe, sit still for the next move, or just know that I am loved in every way that love can show itself. People go out of their way to do me good because of the favor of God on my life. Rules, laws, regulations, and any red tape is removed from me. And it says we don't usually do this. They just can't help it. Okay, I can't help it either. But if God, my intuition, my ancestors say, I wish you would. I'm like, hands up. I have miracles every day, and uncommon blessings find me without me even searching for them. They just fall upon me. There's something that happens when you decide that you're going to flow with God. When you start flowing with God, guess what happens? You start lining up and stuff start falling on you. I don't consent to any energy control. I am grounded and safe and fully in control of myself. I am untouchable and fully sovereign in myself. All cords are removed from me. Cut, cut, snip, snip, burn, burn. I sever every connection and send it back to the pit of hell from whence it came. No longer. I am worthy of my dreams and everything my heart desires. And then I loose the blood of Jesus. Okay, because if it's in my heart and it's a dream, oh, you best believe it's coming to pass if I keep going. I allow clear thinking to find me without fighting for it. I don't have to fight for what's mine. I don't have to compete for you for what's mine. I don't have to yell and get back and snatch flies. I don't have to do none of that. I'm worthy of seeing all my dreams come true while seeing the light in darkness at any moment. If I can look at the silver lining of any story, I can make it through. Okay. Just gotta look at it at an eagle, high standpoint, okay? I saw this somewhere and I said, that's mine. All things come to me in perfect mature timing for my highest outcome and for the good of all. Because if I win, you win. If you win, I win. Why could we gonna share what God said we can share? Other stuff we gonna keep it quiet because that ain't for everybody. Money comes back to me on every dollar that was spent. Double, triple, quadruple, 100-fold on anything that was spent, on that money that was spent. Plus anything that was stolen and anything that was taken that I don't even know about. I am willing to open space for things I truly want by being gentle with myself. I'm intentional with love for myself. Let me tell you, I'm so intentional these days with love for myself on purpose. I saw this on Google and I said, okay, Google. Then I added me some seasoning salt and some hot sauce. Spirit, if it's in my highest good, I remove all energy that doesn't belong from my energy field and send it back to the rightful owner, cleansed and purified. Okay, no matter where we originally met, universe, world, timeline, dimension, and realm, I sever the cord of connection. The lessons have been learned. I release you to find your own way. Okay, I call all my energy fragments back to me now, just like Magneto. Okay, I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. I now release all energies, traumas, and patterns that aren't in alignment with my highest good across all timelines, dimensions, and realms. I even call back everything that my ancestors did not claim to be theirs. I am free. I am free. I am free. I am free. If they didn't claim it, it's mine. Do you hear me? It's mine. I sit in peace when I trust the process and I don't rush the process. This is the thing. Can we wait in the silence, child? Mm. Woo. Can we wait? I help builders break through invisible confidence walls so that they can create consistent momentum in their life in just 4 weeks. That's the program I'm starting up. All right. Because, see, you're not just correcting mistakes, you're confronting generations of programming. I've done the deep work, and now I'm ready to walk you through the breakthrough your life has been waiting for. Okay, let's make it happen together. I've done the work, but I'm no guru. I get up every day to become better than I was yesterday. I get up every day and continue doing the work. Okay. Because if you stop doing the work, you go right back to where you came from. That's how it works. Hi, my name is Renetta Cheston. I am the owner and founder of Life Success Results LLC. Soul Igniter, Trauma Overcomer, Holistic Spiritual Strategist. I work with the whole being for my level of training and education, mind, spirit, soul, and body. Massage therapy for the body, Reiki and sound healing for the soul and the spirit and the mind. Holistic practitioner for the body and the mind. Pulling out all impurities from the rooter to the tutor. Human design practitioner. We go back to the very beginning. We look at that generational baggage and trauma. We look at that womb care and nourishment, that intuition that reconnects you to your dragon energy, that anointing, that burden removing, yoke destroying power of God that allows you to demolish that old life so you can step into your new one. Because, see, that's what happens when you let God get involved with what's going on with your life. You step out of the old and you step into the new and you become a brand new person. And people say, oh, you changed. Oh, I have. Thank you for noticing. It's that untamed energy that changes your life forever by healing that mother wound. You know, not listening to your intuition and your inner voice, not saying no and meaning it, setting up boundaries. Oh, I'm going to show you that mindset towards everyone, and everybody's not against you. That father wound where you allow the anger to come up because it's sacred, and you deal with it through exercise, screaming in the pillow, boxing gloves. That's what I do. I get my boxing gloves and punch the air. You do kickboxing. I kickbox too. Rock climbing, Surfing, whatever you do, while understanding you have a right to feel safe right now. That's what boundaries are for. You didn't feel safe as a child, but guess what? You're a grown up now. You get a right to say no more. And if people don't like it, they're not meant to be in your circle. Because the only people that don't like boundaries are the people that was loving the fact that you had none. Okay. So the question is, who are you really fighting behind those reactions and actions? Who are you really blaming for what happened to you? Are we taking responsibility? When I'm saying that, we didn't do the childhood wounding. But once we pass the age of 21, it is our responsibility to start the healing. We go into the darkness to reclaim everything that belongs to you by standing in the now to recover every piece of you left behind. See, when women and men heal, we heal 7 generations before and after. See, the womb is a portal to life, and all of us have one. See, we have 3 brains. We have a brain in our skull, we have a brain in our heart, we have a brain in our belly. Okay, don't think so. Look at the brain in your skull, and look at the small and large intestines. Same tissue. Okay, just saying, just longer. All right. So what happens is in the belly is called the flower. Is it yeah. Yeah, the flower of life. There it is, the flower of life in your belly. I don't know what just happened, but it came back. Okay, it's your flower of life, which is the heart of all creation. And then also in the Bible, it says in Jude, right before Revelation, it says, out of your belly shall flow rivers of living water. In Isaiah 43:19, it says, I will make a river in the desert, and your dry places I will make wet again. And then we see how God took care of Elijah at a certain brook. But then when the brook dried up, God took Elijah to the widow's house and took care of the widow and her son and Elijah. She said, only thing I got is this meal, and I'm going to make a cake for me and my son, and we finna leave up out of here, and that's it. And Elijah said, before you do that, make a cake, and whatever you're going to do for me, just take a little bit of that and make some for me. And I promise you, whatever you have is going to overflow. She took care of the prophet, and see, that's First Chronicles 20:20. It said, if you believe the prophet, so shall you prosper. If you and if you believe the prophet, so shall you live long and prosper. Okay, go look it up. First Chronicles 20:20. Go look it up for yourself. All right. God is good. All right. So what happens is when we respect and heal it, because see, God is telling us that life comes from the belly. It comes from the belly. So you get the brain and heart coherent, working together, cohesion. And then the mind works together. And what you say out of your mouth affects the belly. Okay. Because Jesus said it's not what goes in you that affects you, it's what comes out of you. How should fuss to get on the bus? So when we respect and heal it, everything that comes from that womb is whole to lead future generations of leaders with intuition, empathy, strength, and wisdom. That is in the lines of King Solomon. King Solomon was the wisest and the richest man on earth for a long time, and they said neither would they would be anyone like him ever again. Why? Because in that dispensation of time was the law of Moses. We're under the dispensation of love and grace, meaning we can put a boundary up for someone, seeing cleansing and purifying energy, or say, I see nothing but love to you as you go forward. And grace, God's willingness to get involved with you and fans. That means God will reach down and get you up out of your situation because you gave him free reign. Okay, let's talk about it. Because look, even the secret societies use him in the rituals. You ever heard of Solomon's porch? Solomon's temple? Look it up and see who uses it. Okay. They don't want you to use it because they know the power that's connected to that. Because once you tap into your infinite creation in your belly, because all creation comes from the belly, so it's infinite. So when you cut off that mess and you cut off that negativity and you cut it out your life, you're gonna mess around and run smack dab into infinite wealth. Okay. Uh-huh. Even the secret scientists use them in their rituals. To get through this process, I'm just telling you, you will need to believe in something outside of you, because they are parallel universes. They got stuff that'll blow your mind. I promise you, you have your mind finna snap. Don't believe me? There's some people sitting up in some rooms right now that's fatty that will tell you what they saw, and you will laugh at them. And I'm going to tell you, I saw the same thing, but I told myself, it's real. They told themselves it's not. Because, see, I was told when I got on this journey, my angels and my ancestors said, you finna see some stuff that they told you weren't real. Everything that you see is going to be real. So just know that. Okay. Just let me tell you something. You're going to need to believe in something outside of you to keep you going. Someone bigger than you. That's why I say God, Buddha, whatever. When we heal, we change atmospheres and areas of the world. When people see a healed woman or man, they want to emulate that, and it becomes a row of dominoes or a domino effect. How it works: before we meet, you'll complete a short reflection to allow me to personalize the program to what your personal needs are. Okay? And we will meet on a focused 45-minute call on a Zoom call. Why? Because this is your personal business. This ain't no. This is nobody else's business. Okay. Then too, you may need a paradigm shift. If you like me that grew up in the church, you're gonna need a paradigm shift because you only know this. You you you're gonna need a paradigm shift to open up your mind and see that there's more going on than what you can see. Okay. Then if you are of African descent, you're gonna need a paradigm shift. Why? Because the only thing you know is colonization. You know that you gotta open up your mind and see more than just that. Or you're gonna start missing stuff and you gonna start holding yourself back. And God is so much bigger than that. God is he is amazing and humongous. And we try to put him in a little box in our little human world, and I can't even explain his vastness. He created the universe and everything in it, and us. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. So, and then if you the first one in your family to do anything, you're gonna need a paradigm shift because everybody telling you how to do it. But because you the first one to do it, if everybody know how to do it, why ain't nobody in the family do it? You the first one to do it because you the breaker. They had the opportunity to be the breaker, but they complain about where they were at in life instead of doing it. I'm not judging nobody because I've been there too. I'm not judging you. I've been there. I'm just saying when you the breaker, everybody trying to tell you what to do, and you got to close your ear to that and change your whole paradigm of way of thinking to think the way God does, because God's way is vast. So you got to get in vast. You got to get in the vastness. Okay. Then, if you are Caucasian, your ancestors did some amazing damage on this earth. They only came into this world 6,000 years ago. Yes, child. Y'all only came in 6,000 years ago. Because it was your mutation of the African race. It's a mutation. It was a lack of RNA in the DNA. And that is why your skin is pale. And you're not white, you're peach. White wasn't come up until later on in life. If you go look at everything that was going on in the UK and England and all that stuff, they never called themselves white. White is a word that came up over here in the United States. But it was all built by criminals. Don't believe me? Go look at all the people that UK sent away and England sent back in 16, 14, and 13 century. Look at what they did. They sent all the criminals to the Americas. Don't let me go do your history. All right. All right. So you just know your history. All right. And that means your ancestors, just think about your grandma and your granddaddy, they saw a child hanging on a tree. They saw a grown man burning at a stake. You don't think that changed that 5 or 6 year old's life? They were no longer a child. They went into adulthood. They were supposed to be protected and not seeing that. You see what I'm saying? And it affects you. The drug use, the alcoholism, that goes for all of us. There was so much that has been passed down through the DNA. I'm just saying, it's something for us to look at. We say it doesn't, and then the scientists say it is junk DNA, but when you start cutting that stuff on, you start realizing so much is in the DNA. And there's something going on with my throat because that throat chakra is opening up because I'm telling the truth. Okay. We got room for you. Okay. Ain't no judgment here because we all working on ourselves. At the end, you will know how to identify exactly where you stop on what makes you excited and why. is usually something this small. But you've been starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping. And now it's time to learn. You get the opportunity to stay committed when life gets tough. I'm gonna tell you, everything is coming at you in the kitchen sink. What? Because the system, your old self, God, everything is coming at you to see, because you at a plateau. Some of us is at plateau. Let's talk about it. They are people that are doing the work and now they at a plateau because you quit doing the work. Because you started, you keep going and you stop and you keep going and you stop and you keep going and you stop. You're at a plateau. And some haven't even started yet. And again, there's no judgment. I've been in both of those. Okay, there's no judgment. I don't judge nobody because I've been what I'm talking about. From seeing who you really are and meant to do and be. Because we do so much, but we're meant to be who God called us to be. Reignite your imagination and give yourself permission to live how you see it. Not how nobody else see it. Because this dream came from God. Excuse me, confirmation bird, the creator, not the world around you. So why you looking for validation? They can't give it to you because they don't know what they doing. All under an hour. It is called the Beta Bigger Than Me Visionary Breakthrough Accelerator for 4 weeks, completely free. If you've ever wondered, why does this keep happening? Why can't I stay consistent? Why does something always keep pulling me back from where I just left? I only have a few slots each month, okay? And I look forward to speaking to you soon. Think about it. Hit the like button, hit subscribe because it'll help my channel, as well as hit share and hit the bell so you know whenever I put out something new. Your chance to step into sovereignty is here. Once a month, I went back to the old. There it is. All it takes, you tried it. All it takes is 3 things. Visit the webpage, hit connect here. Number 2. Number 3, fill out that short form and boom, you're in the drawing. You you're already in it. Once you do that private session, we gonna meet. Why we gonna meet? To get on the journey back to you, let me tell you why we gonna meet. We need to see if you are teachable. Because some of the people that fill out the form may not be teachable. Because sometimes we think we know everything. And you don't know everything until you get on the other side of that. And this is to bring you back into a journey back to you. Because, see, let me tell you, I was brought up by baby boomers and they said don't question adults, don't question leaders, don't question them. But see, questions bring clarity instead of just blindly believing everyone instead of trusting the voice of God I hear all the time in my own intuition. We all got intuition. It's just we have not have been listening to it. What do you need to question? What part of your life are you playing? You are the leader of your own life. Are you the main character or the supporting character? You choose daily by what you do. I'm not judging you because for a long time, yeah, I was getting that supporting role and I was getting upset, but I wasn't changing my mindset. See, and doing the work. You've been asking for change. You've been feeling the pull. Now's your moment to show up for yourself. The only thing that you have to lose, and see, the thing is, you show up for everybody else, right? I'm gonna talk about how I was. Showed up for everybody except myself, and then got resentful. How everybody else just left with my goods. And God said they left with your goods because you was giving everybody else the high dollar ticket item. And you gave yourself breadcrumbs. I said, ugh, ugh, okay. Put it in my face, God. The only thing you have to lose is the weight that's been holding you back. The only thing you have to gain is everything that's been waiting for you on the other side of who you said you wanted to be. Okay. It's just that simple. The rest, I'll walk you through every step of the way. Woo! Again, I only have a few slots, and I'm so excited to see you soon. I came out on the other side. I wanted someone there for me. I get to be that person I wish I had on my side again. When you're ready to meet the real you, I'm ready. Let's walk out of the fear into something new and unknown together. God doesn't give you what you want until you let go of what's in your hand. That's how God works. That's how the spirit realm works. You like this, God say let go. You're like, you gotta let go. Aren't you ready to let go to receive what's yours? You don't have to let go. Only thing you get to do is you got to do is be the color you are and leave here. That's it. There are some freebies and a link to my podcast with the Women's Leveling Up done in May. It was so exciting to be there, as well as I have 3 magazines in there that you can see, 3 covers. Oh, it was so one this month, one September and October. Look at the description below to find the things that truly light you up and leave everything else behind. I can't wait to talk to you. So remember, I placed the link to my own personal bookstore. My books incorporate the essence of God. If you want to feel the presence of God, read In the Garden with the Father, Understanding True Intimacy. This is a one-on-one book with me and God. Okay, I'm going to just read one of the pages. Oh, one moment. Let me get there. Get ready for a major breakthrough coming your way. Okay, and I receive it and be at peace. Okay. Then I have 2 other books that are already that are also on Amazon. It is called Befriending the Shadow and Unshakable Peace, Unstoppable Change. Those 2 books I call those books shadow activity books because I was looking at the shadow workbooks and they were just so rough. And I was like, God, there's no fun in them. He's like, okay, because you're supposed to make it. Because I have the inner child and the inner teenager, they be want to play. So I'm just like, let's go. So how it works is you have a word of knowledge from God. Then you have an exercise, okay? There's 22 chapters, so you have 22 of these. Then you have a shadow question, not so nice. I cried a lot over those shadow questions. Those come from the processing of the pain throughout the process. Okay. Number 4, you get a coloring page. The coloring page is going to be between the age of 5 to 10. God told me to keep it that way because most people that have childhood wounding will happen between the age of 5 and 10. By age 7, things are sealed in, but it can be changed by age 10 if somebody comes to help you in the process. Okay. No matter what your background. Then I have 2 books that are already on the New York Times bestseller list. Mindset Matters with Jack Canfield. That's better. And Influence and Impact with Chris Voss. Okay. My light went out, but we're going to still keep going. Okay. Again, no matter what your background, because all roads lead to God. Okay. No matter which one. You keep knocking, keep seeking, you will show up. Okay. Notebooks. Notebooks for all and coloring books for all that help in meditating, recalibrating the mind. I'm excited about this new venture because I'm in charge of my own intellectual property. Although I have a lot of stuff still on Amazon. Don't forget about the 105 laws that govern the earth. Remember, disclaimer, we're no longer living underneath the laws. We live under love and grace. Okay. Don't forget to sign up for your newsletter for the juicy updates and upcoming events. The Adjective PDF and as well as your 400 Invades PDF to put that together to change your whole Sims character in this game. Look at the new link for school. I just started getting things together. I was inducted into the new class of Who's Who. And if influential women pulling up the last quarter of 2025 say God won't do it. Okay, he may not come when you want it, but he show up on time, honey. Yes, he do. God is so faithful. I'm grateful and I'm thankful for everything I am because he brought it straight to me. Look at the link to receive 25% off your first order. This is the company I use with all natural remedies for my assistance. In 2017, I was given a diagnosis of breast cancer. I didn't take any cancer treatments. I just did all natural remedies from my backyard. And 100% silver shield. I think I took that 2.5, maybe 3.5 months. And I had a naturopathic doctor. I had a Dr. Sebi diet. My naturopathic doctor looked at the list, looked at my blood type, and was like, and we would started scratching out stuff that I couldn't take because it would bring too much acidity in my body because it wouldn't work for me. Okay. And then I just looked at that list, and that's the list I took with me to the grocery store. Sure did. And then I had the stuff in the backyard. And I told them, doctor, they tried to get me to take all their stuff. The God told me, you take anything they got, you're going to be gone in a week. I said, say less. So I told them, I said, I bind up every germ, every disease, every lump, every growth, every tumor. I bind it up and I loose the blood of Jesus because I'm the heal, protecting my health from sickness and disease. I repent, God, for living outside of the boundaries of what you said to be healing. And I think that I take responsibility for myself and I get myself back in the flow. Child, I left there and they said, what is that? I said, I'm putting my order in because when I come back without this stuff, you're going to know what happened. How about I went back with the testimony? Showed in. Child, let's talk about it. Okay, child, I started when I went home, talked to God and said what was going on. I said, God, what we gonna do? He told me to call that a naturopathic doctor. Said, say, man. Then my ancestor said, go outside, get the dandelion. I told the doctors what I did. That's why they've been doing research for almost 10 years. That's when you get that roasted dandelion tea from. Because I told them what I did. Why not? Okay. That morning glory, that purple flower that grows in your backyard, all of these are the plants. All of these are the weeds that grow in your backyard. And they say are weeds. These are actually herbs our ancestors were using for years. Okay. So again, that dandelion and then that morning glory and then that crabgrass. It smells like onions. Okay. It's that grass that smells like onions. It's real long. Okay. And then that, what is it? Poke salad. It looks like cilantro and lettuce in one. It's got real serrated edges. You'll see it when you go in the backyard because it's on the ground or it'll lift up off the ground a little bit. Child, I put all that together on top of my spinach, cleaned it up, put it on top of my spinach underneath my jasmine rice. With, say I didn't, yes I did, with my zucchini, my squash, my red onions, red, yellow, and orange bell pepper, say I didn't. And every once in a while, I turned pescatarian, so every once in a while I add some salmon or I add some tuna steak or some shrimp wherever because my blood type said I needed a little bit of meat in order to keep the protein going. Because it was like, yes, you can get your protein from the vegetables, but because of the proteins in your blood, you need some meat. Okay. He said, I understand you may want to go this route, but you're gonna start seeing changes in your nail color and all of that because your body needs something different than someone else. Remember how I said 192? It's 192 ways to live your life, and then on top of that, everybody got a different fingerprint. So don't try to live how everybody else. See what works for you. Add a piece here, add a piece there. If everything don't work for you all at once, add a piece, add a piece, add a piece, add a piece, and see what works for you and do a balance. All right. Father God, I thank you right now for your amazing word. I didn't expect to go this long, God. I thank you for your amazing word. I thank you for your love. I thank you for your ministry, the ministry and spirits of the angels. I thank you for how you keep me. I thank you for how you correct me. Yes, I thank you for the tail whippings. Because if you didn't give me a correction, that means you have given me over to Romans 1, a reprobate mind. That means you are letting me figure this out on my own. And no, thank you. I thank you for coming and talking to me. I thank you. I am listening. I am moving with you. I am grooving with you. Okay, because ain't nothing stopping us now. Come on here now. And Father God, I thank you that some of us are doing the best we have, the best we can, because we were told by the system we are disenfranchised. Okay. So they already told us they set us up to fail. All right. But God said, I got you. So we playing spades, Uno, and something with the worst cards in the deck. And we still sending them back. And they tell me, wait a minute, we gave you the worst cards. How is you winning? God, and I said, because God is in our end, because God like, show we'll tell them exactly what to do. He said, play by play. Now do it exactly what I told you to do. Okay? And don't tell nobody exactly what I told you to do. Let them come to me to get their exact game plan. Because everybody has a different one. It's 192 ways. But remember, everybody had a own favorite. I love you in the love of the Lord. And I pray, even if you don't hear this in 2025, you hear this in another year, this word is timeless, and I thank you that you listen, take notes, and write it down, and change your life forever. I love you in the love of the Lord. Have a great evening and good night.